Game's at 3:30.
Yeah.
It's on ABC. It's Texas A&M coming to town. They're a 4.5-point favorite squaring off against the Miami Hurricanes. Did this line surprise you at all?
It did surprise me. The note I wrote down was, what exactly did Texas A&M do to earn this, right? And obviously, it's not Texas A&M calling up the Bellagio and saying, this is where we feel we are. It's an interesting line to say, what has Texas A&M done on the road? What have they proven offensively? What have they proven in terms of being together as a team enough to the point, if we think Miami is at least quality, to say, 4.5, 5 points on the road as a favorite? That's my note, because I still favor teams, especially early on, that are playing at home, that are as healthy as they will be all season long early on in September. And hey, real quick, thanks for stopping by. Now would be a terrific time to subscribe to the Solid Verbal for college football videos all season long. There's still open questions to be, as impressive as A&M and granted Miami were last week. There's open questions about A&M stopping the run, which we saw Miami, at least that's going to be the intention, that Miami playing big old Mario Gorilla Ball, say what you will, that's still going to be a priority. They did it nicely last week with Henry Parrish and who was the other? Was Walton? I don't remember. But they did it impressively last week against Miami of Ohio. Super curious about Miami's offensive line holding up against Texas A&M's pass rush.
No.
With a healthy TVD, with Colbie Young emerging as a number one receiver, it's secretly a very good receiver game for having Evan Stewart and Colbie Young on the same field. I'm fascinated by this matchup. I am happily going to take the points because I think Miami's defense is in a decent enough place. They take care of business in week 1 that I'm a believer. We both were believers coming into the season that Miami would be noticeably improved. And so I just don't have anything. I don't have meat on that bone to feel confident about Texas A&M as a road favorite. So I'm going with home dog.
Wow. Look, I did the Miami preview.
Yeah.
And I was all in on Miami over 7.5. I forget what the line was officially. I think they're like an 8-4 team.
Okay.
I think they're much improved. That would be a 3-win improvement. To your point, that would be an improved Miami team. I thought they looked good and balanced on offense in week 1. Ultimately, not much to take away from a big win over Miami, Ohio, though. And none of that's going to give us any inside angle on what happens in this game against Texas A&M. I'm going to hold on to what I said in the preseason. I like Tyler Van Dyke. I like the way that your boy Mario has built up the trenches. In theory, this defense should be solid, should be improved. I like Shannon Dawson, the new offensive coordinator. You're right. It should be a very receiver-friendly system, whether it's Colbie Young or whoever else. It's just, I need to see more.
Of course.
I need to see more before I'm willing to go there, especially with a game like this against Texas A&M. Like, who truly are the gravitational players? The proven gravitational players that we can point to in a game like this against a team that I think is way more talent. Who are those guys that we can point to and say those are the ones that are going to beat A&M?
I think the safeties for Miami, I think they've built up depth on the defensive line with dudes who can be game breakers.
But are the safeties and the defensive linemen going to score points?
They can prevent points. They can change complexion of games. And look, is the gravitational more Connor Weigman or TVD?
I think it's Connor Weigman, personally.
Do you think Connor Weigman's better than TVD?
I don't know if he's better, but I think in this game with the talent around him, it's Connor Weigman.
Okay, see, I think TVD's the better quarterback and he's playing at home. Like, if I'm going to oversimplify it and reduce it down to the core, look, you have to take it away. You have to figure out which coach will infuriate his own fan base less. And so Mario at home, Jimbo on the road, a more experienced quarterback, a nice fresh start for Miami. Look, I'm obviously painting a rosy picture of the Canes, but I am still a believer in a home team early on in the season that Texas A&M has not fully been formed to go about the country barnstorming as favorites against quality teams.
That's fair. That's totally fair. And I think what we're both saying is we don't know what we're betting on here.
Totally.
There's no way we could. It's week 2. I am skeeved out a little bit by the fact that I still don't really know what I'm getting from the Miami offense.
True.
And
Totally
I think it'll be better, but I would like to see, or like to have at this point, more of a proven concept out wide. Know that TVD is throwing to reliable targets that can test what I think is a really reliable and should be a pretty good secondary.
Yeah.
For Texas A&M. So for me, because that scares me, because A&M is crazy deep.
Yep.
Along the defensive line, I've got something like 27-20 Texas A&M in a good game, another good game.
Okay, so if you are you're planting your flag right now that you believe Texas A&M is like a 9-10 win team.
I am.
Okay.
Yeah, I am.
Fair enough.
I am.